When I was a freshman in high school, we had a very unique class. We had 147 kids in class at Carthage High School, which was the biggest freshman class I ever had. But what we had a lot of returned servicemen. And Loomis Powell was 26 years old. He was the oldest one in the class. And Robbie Earps was 13. She was the youngest. And we had every age between 13 and 26. Ralph Green was 25 and somebody else 24, 23, right on down. All these returned servicemen. And we had a lot of kids that had finished the 8th grade but had not gone to high school. And so they were coming into high school at, instead of 15 or something, they were coming in high school at 16 or 17. So we had all these different age groups. So it was a custom at the high school that all the seniors and everybody would run you through the belt line was run real long. And the freshmen had to run through that, and they'd take the belts and they'd swap you with the belts. And it wasn't too bad as long as they just hit you with the belts, and if you ran fast enough. But Billy Jolly Amnett, the smallest guy in our class, old Billy, he's a fine guy, he ran through, and somebody hit him with a belt buckle and busted his leg, big old bruise and split open and everything. So we all were really disgusted about that. And so Loomis and the veterans and everything, they all were really upset about it. So the next morning, all of them were lined up, and they had the seniors come down. Said, okay, you seniors, you come down. So they sent the seniors through the belt line, and they busted the seniors. So that was the last belt line that anybody ever had at Smith County High School. They sent the seniors through, and that was it. We had a principal named Mr. Massey who had no discipline in school whatsoever, and about 2 weeks before school was out, we actually had a riot in the library and just destroyed the library. And Massey just left, and nobody ever heard from him again. And it was just a turmoil. So then, when we got ready to come back to school the sophomore year, we didn't know what to expect. We thought if school was going to be that wild again. We had a kid that was named Henry Enoch, and Henry was about 6'2" and weighed about 350. And he could just whip anybody in school with one hand. We had a new principal, the name of Mr. Doughty. We all decided we would try out Mr. Doughty, so they rang the bell, and we decided we wouldn't go in class. So we all mingled around outside. So in a minute, rang the bell twice, and we all still mingled around. And so then Mr. Doughty came out on the steps, their side steps, and he said, gentlemen, class is in session. If you're going to class, come in. If you're not, I'm calling the police to have you come in. So we all mingled in except Henry Enoch. Well, Henry stood there, and we got on inside, and we kept on hearing Enoch. Enoch would holler, Doughty is chicken shit, Doughty is chicken shit. We all just laughed, and we said, old Henry got him. Henry will take care of old Doughty. Well, Doughty's about 6'4" and weighed about 220. Nice, had on a 3-piece suit. Very good-looking guy, just a handsome guy, big guy, Mr. Doughty walked out on the steps, and he said, Mr. Enoch, I presume. Said, your name is Mr. Enoch? And he said, yeah, I'm Enoch. And he said, are you going to school here? And Enoch said, well, if I want to, I will. If I don't, I won't. And he said, well, I'm asking you, are you coming to class? And he said, well, if you want to make me, I will. So Mr. Doughty walked out, and he grabbed Enoch and twisted his arm up behind his head and walked him up the steps and down the hall and took a paddle and beat the hell out of him. Now, what we didn't know about Mr. Doughty is he was a captain in the military police in the Army. And so in one swift moment, this military police captain got complete control of a school that had been completely out of control. So Mr. Doughty never had any problem with discipline in that school after all, because we figured he could handle Henry Enoch. He could handle any three of us. I mean, nobody would ever give him any problems, and that was a rude awakening for all of us.